Hello and welcome back. Now, this is going to go over applications of percent. So we've been talking about how to use percent over the last couple of days, and we've come up with a couple formulas. The big one, of course, being that we have an amount times the decimal equivalent of a percent equals the total. And then when using interest, we have the, not the total, but rather the interest. And that we have the amount times the decimal percent times time, and that will equal interest earned. Interest earned. Now, another big concept we need to know is about this percentage. Okay, we are multiplying by the decimal equivalent. Now, the decimal equivalent, as you remember, if we had 25%, we would divide that by 100, and that's going to give us the decimal equivalent. Well, dividing by 100 is virtually the same thing as moving that decimal place 2 spots. So you should intuitively know that 25% is 0.25. On the same token, 50% would be the equivalent of 0.5. Be careful. We have to move the decimal place twice. So if your problem says 5%, you need to recognize that that is not 0.5. If that was 0.5, that would mean that these two things are the same. And we can look over here and see that they are clearly not the same. Because they are clearly not the same, we realize we need to move that decimal point 2 spots, which leaves an opening for a 0. And our decimal equivalent is 0.05. I think those are the formulas that we're going to need. The one other thing we need to remember is that if it's asking for a total, you always have to add your original amount back in. Okay, so let's take a couple looks at these. So the first one we get, number 1 on this worksheet, has a table. And so it says we have a sale amount, a 5% tax, and a total paid. Okay, now it's important to remember 5% tax. That 5%, when we multiply this, actually needs to be done by multiplying the decimal equivalent. So the decimal equivalent of 5%, 0.05. Okay, and we looked at that. I think we actually looked at that specific one, did we? Oh, look, there it is. This is 5%, 0.05. So now let's go on ahead and fill in what it gave us. It gave us $67.50 and a sales tax of 0.05. Well, I know that I need to multiply. So I need to multiply. Actually, let me change colors on this. Multiply 67.50 times that 0.5. So I'm going to multiply by 0.05. 5 times 0 is 0. 5 times 5 is 25. Carry the 2. 5 times 7 is 35. Plus that extra 2 will be 36, 37. Carry my 3. 5 times 6 is 30. Plus 3 is 33. Now be careful. Don't forget your decimals. I stole 2 here. I stole 2 here. Because I stole 4 total, I need to give 4 of them back. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the correct mathematical answer is 3. Sorry, my pen is acting a fool right now. 3.375. But that would mean, because this is money, right? So this is $3, 3 dimes, and I've got D and D, but it's dimes, dollars. Okay, 7 pennies. So what would this be? That'd be a half penny. If you want, pause it, open a new tab, not a new window, don't close this window or use this window, but open a new tab and then Google half pennies, United States. You might be interested to find out that I believe it was around World War I. We quit using half pennies, but they used to exist. Because they do not currently exist, that means we have to round. Now, if there's 5 or more, we go up. 4 or fewer, it stays on the floor. And it only affects the number beside it. So instead of $3.375, we will write the actual dollar amount that we could do. In this case, it would be 3.38. All right. Now to figure the total paid, oh, that's super simple. We're going to take our original amount, add our decimal or our new amount, so 67.50 plus 3.38. And the biggest thing we need to remember is adding and subtracting all of our decimals stay in a line. So I can go on ahead and put the decimal down there. 8 plus 0 is 8. 5 plus 3 is 8. 7 plus 3 is 10. Carry the 1, 70. So my total paid in this case is going to be $70.88. So let's go on ahead and work that out. Let's go on ahead and work one more on this one. I think we can do it a whole lot quicker this time. So 98.75 is our next one. So let's go on ahead and get that filled in. 98.75. So I'm going to go back to my first step, and I know I have to multiply. So 98.75 times 0.05. Go on ahead and pause the video here. I'm going to work it out, but you pause it, work it out yourself. Let's see if we get the right answer. Welcome back, because I know you paused it. 5 times 5 is 25. Carry the 2. 5 times 7 be 35 plus 2, 37. Carry the 3. 5 times 8 is 40 plus the 3 would be 43. Carry the 4. 5 times 9 is 45 plus the 4 would be 49. Now I stole 2 decimals here. I stole 2 decimals here. So I have to give back 4 decimals. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's going to give me a quandary again because I have $4.93 and then all of that. Again, I need to round my pennies. Since I need to round my pennies, I'm going to look at the number next to it. Is it greater than 5? Is it 5 or greater? It's 7, so it is. That means we're going to round that 3 up. So it'd be $4.94. Okay, now I'm back to the easy part. All I got to do is add 98.75 plus $4.94. 4 plus 5, 9. 9 plus 7 is 16. Carry the 1. 1 plus 4 is 5 plus 8 would be 13. Carry the 1. 1 plus 9 is 10. So my total paid will be $103.69. And now we talked about this in class, but for those of you who weren't in my class, I want to make sure you understand this. So tax is something that the federal government takes. And if you've ever bought anything from the dollar store, you've experienced this because you go to the dollar store and you pick up that cool little toy that you use for whatever reason you use it. And it says it's $1, but whenever you get to the register, they always want more. Here in Taylor County, they actually want $1.08. And that would be because our sales tax is 8.25%. So this is a cool little way that whenever you're going to buy that big ticket item before you get to the cash register and you think you have enough money, you can double check and make sure. Don't forget the sales tax. Now, the next set of problems that we have to look at are similar in nature with a little bit of a twist. So, contrary to popular belief, banks are in it to make money too. Just like the store that we talked about before that has to make a profit, so does the bank, because if they don't make money, they don't exist to loan you money or take care of your money or to help you. Okay. So interest earned, this is hard to write and say something different at the same time. And then we're just going to write NB for New Balance. New Balance is not the shoe, but actually like your bank account. So if you borrow money from the bank, like let's say I wanted to borrow $100, they're going to charge me an interest rate. So that would mean I actually have to pay back not just the $100, but the interest that they earn. And that's how they make money. What you may not have realized is you can actually do the opposite. You can loan money or invest it into a bank, and in doing so, they will pay you interest for allowing them to utilize that money. This is not a banking class, so it's not a matter of how much money is actually moving, but it is something interesting to look at. You may want to check that out. So regardless, what we have to look at is not just interest, but interest over time. Now, please keep in mind, this is simple interest. This is not compound. This is simple. Simple interest is something way easier to figure out. And we are actually going to figure it out simply by multiplying, but let's look at it first. So we have $300 in our principal at a 3% rate for 4 years. All right. So first things first, I need to recognize 3%, I have to change it to the decimal equivalent. And we can do that by moving the decimal 2 times, 0.03, and then get rid of that decimal. So this is 0.03 that I need to multiply it by, and this is just multiplication. If I wanted 1 year, I'm just going to multiply it. So let's just figure out 1 year for now. 0.03. 3 times 0 is 0. 3 times 0 is 0. 3 times 3 is 9. I stole 2. I have to give back 2. 9. Okay, now it's not 9 though. It's 9 over 4 periods. There's 4 years here that they did this. Well, anytime I want to see something over a period like that, I just multiply. So 9 times 4 is 36. And that's it. $36 is my interest earned. That is a really easy math problem for me to work. And now I'm back to my original problem of needing the new balance. Well, the new balance is if I made 36 and I already had 300, I just need to combine those. So I'm going to take my interest earned and add it to the principal to get what it equals. So I have 300 plus 36. Normally, I'd write it down for you to work, but I hope you can do that in your head and see that it is simply $336. The next one we need to work on is a little different, okay? Because we've got a hole in a different place. So let's take a look at this one. So we have $450, a blank spot, 3 years, and $67.50. Okay, well, first things first. We have the principal, we have the interest earned, so I can find my new balance super quick. So let's do that. Let's get the easy stuff out of the way. 450 plus 67.50. Always line up your decimals when adding and subtracting. 0 plus 0 is 0. 0 plus 5 is 5. 0 plus 7 is 7. 5 plus 6 is 11. Carry the 1. 5. So my new balance will be $517.50. Okay, so now let's look back. We still have one more hole, and that's the annual rate. This we have to think about. To get the interest earned, I had to multiply. So to do that, I had to multiply it. To undo it, I would need to do the opposite. And the undo of multiplication, that's division. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 67. Wow, my pen is really messing up today. $67.50. And now I need to divide it either by 3 or 450. I have to do it by both, but it doesn't matter which one I do first. I'm going to do 450 first. So 450 goes into 6. Oh, yeah, I have a decimal point below the house. Got to put it above the house. 450 will go into 6 0 times. 450 will go into 67 0 times. 450 will go into 675 1 time. 1 times 450 is 450. So now I'm going to subtract. 5 minus 0 is 5. 7 minus 5 is 2. 6 minus 4 is 2. Bring down my 0, 2,250. So 450 will go into 2,250. You guys may have to think about this, but I've done this problem enough. 5 times 450, 5 times 0, 0. 5 times 5 is 25. Carry the 2. 5 times 4 is 20 plus 2, 2,250. So that is 0. Now remember, I'm not done. I have to divide 3 into 0.15 because I still have to get my 3. So 3 goes into 0 0 times. I've got my decimal point. 3 goes into 1 0 times. 3 goes into 15. 5 times 5 times 3 is 15. Subtract 0 on the bottom. Remember, this is a decimal. To convert the decimal to a percentage, 0.05 to a percent, we would need to multiply by 100. If we remember, we just did this. 0.05 is equivalent to 5%. So that means that the annual rate for this is 5%. And that's that. That's pretty much all there is to it. We are multiplying and dividing. The big thing is to remember that we are converting our percent into something usable. So let's take another look. Let's look at number 6. Number 6 is a little bit of a different problem. It says Nora makes $3,000 a month. And then it gives us this pie chart, and it has all of these different percentages of things that Nora has spent it on. But it wants the first one, and the one we're going to look at, is rent. And so it says rent is 26%. Well, I know to figure out the portion of money that is going towards rent, I need to multiply. So I need to multiply 3,000 times 26%. But remember, I can't just multiply it by 26. I have to convert that 26% into a decimal. And if you remember, that means we have to move the decimal point. So we are going to move the decimal point twice, 0.26. And now we just multiply. 6 times 0 is 0. 6 times 0 is 0. 6 times 0 is 0. 6 times 3, that's 18. And now I'm going to put my placeholder 0 down because I'm not multiplying by a 2, but rather by a 20. So 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times this 0 is 0. 2 times this 0 is 0. 2 times 3 is 6. And I add zeros, 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 8, and 1 plus 6 is 7. Remember, 2 digits, you got to give them back. 1, 2. So how much money does she spend on rent every month? Every month, Nora spends $780 on rent. And that's applications of percent. So always try to set it up. Look at the formula, okay? Go back to the basics. Go back to the notes that we wrote on these tables. When you're looking to fill a hole, do you need to divide or multiply? And then make sure that you've converted the interest rate into a decimal or the decimal back into the interest rate. I hope that helps. If you have any more comments, concerns, questions, please leave a comment below. Let me know what you think or what you need. I do check the comments, although I'm still figuring that out. But ultimately, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. That way you find out whenever I post a new video. And you never know, there's probably answers to your homework in these videos. So, yeah, I'll see you in class. tomorrow.